Right, so today's video, let me tuck my chair in for this one because this one is a very interesting video. I've been gone and I've been watching a lot of games recently and it's sort of put me in a nostalgic mood. And today we're going to be ranking centre-back partnerships, okay? I've been watching a lot of games, particularly of one centre-back pairing, which you'll see later, who I think is the best ever, but we'll come on to that later. But I've been watching a lot of games recently. I've found websites, I'm not going to disclose them, I might do eventually, of where you can just watch full matches of the past, and I've been watching a lot recently, and that's put me in this sort of nostalgic mood today to rank centre-back partnerships. We're going to be ranking these on a few different things, as you can see. We've got a tier list of, obviously we've got 1 to 5, so they're the top 5, and then you've obviously got all the way down to 28, 20, sorry, just whack the mic, 28 different partnerships on this list, ranging from different eras, etc. We're going to be judging these off like longevity, trophies, and everything, the eye test mainly. Starting with John Terry and Gary Cahill. Now, John Terry features on this list a fair few times, but with Gary Cahill, I think that's sort of an underrated partnership. They played over, 100 matches together at least, definitely. I think they played alongside each other for 2 Premier League winning campaigns. Obviously, they won together in the 14-15 season and 16-17, although Terry was sort of coming to, I think he retired in 16-17 Premier League season, didn't he? And sort of David Luiz was being used a lot more. But again, obviously, actually as well, I think with Gary Cahill's first Chelsea season, where they won the Champions League, I believe, because I remember him playing in that semi-final, I think, against Barcelona. Obviously, John Terry played in that as well, so they played together, but Terry obviously got sent off and missed the final. But yeah, I think these are a bit of an underrated partnership, because, yeah, the 2 Englishmen, I'm going to put them in the middle of the range for now. Again, these subject to change. We can change this as much as we want as we go on. We can sort of throw them in wherever we want, and at the end, we can swap it around a little bit. Next up, Fabio Cannavaro and Lilian Thuram, I think that is. Again, a partnership sort of like, and a bit of an underrated partnership as well. Thuram obviously won, I think, the World Cup 98 with France. And did France win the Euros in 2000? I think they did. But he was sort of playing as a right-back in those 2 campaigns. So he didn't really play as a centre-back. But then I think it was his time at Parma with Cannavaro where he sort of drifted in to a centre-back role. They won the Cup. Was it the Cup with Parma in 1999 together? And although they did have a very good season or 2 together, the longevity wasn't really there. Again, unbelievable players, both of them, especially Cannavaro. We'll come on to him again in a minute. But I think this partnership was sort of, yeah, I think that's probably fair. 19 to 25, we'll put him in table 4. I'm just doing it off tables mainly because I've watched a lot of the SDS boys and, they rank everything on tables. I've not done tables here, but similar sort of thing. Nesta, is that Nesta? I believe it's Nesta and Cannavaro. So we've got Cannavaro again. Arguably the 2 best centre-backs of the 21st century. Arguably. But as a pair, they didn't play alongside each other as much as the neutral would have liked. I think they made the mark together, to be fair. Never played at club level, I don't think. It was mainly just for the Italian national team, but what a world-class partnership it was for Italy. Nesta was injured for that 2006 World Cup though, wasn't he? He was. Cannavaro won the Ballon d'Or. I'm going to put them there because I do think it's a better partnership than Cannavaro and Thuram. I think they just complemented each other very well. And now we're going straight onto these 2 because, wow, it's going to be the first partnership I'm putting right in the top tier. Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane. What a partnership. A modern-day partnership. I think Ramos is in here a few times as well, but I think his partnership with Varane, I think it's his best. Obviously, they did win 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Well, I'll say 3. It was mainly 2 because obviously Ramos was with Pepe, that first Champions League win. They started the final together, I believe, but 2017, 2018, they were partners together, weren't they, for them 2 title wins. So, yeah, they won pretty much everything there is to win. You had Ramos, the rough, industrial defender, Varane, the more calmer of the 2, but it worked so well together, didn't it? It worked absolute wonders together. Thiago Silva and Marquinhos, again, I'm going to put them there. They didn't do it on the European stage, did they? Yes, they scored goals. Yes, they had great moments on the European stage, but they never won that Champions League, did they? So I've got to mark it down. Again, anyone can win Liga and titles. They did so a numerous amount of times together. at PSG. But again, even for Brazil, they didn't do much, did they? They didn't do much for Brazil either. So I think that's marking them down a little bit because the talent they had at Brazil, the talent they had at PSG, they should have probably won more. Dante and Boateng, Jerome Boateng. For me, I'm going to say I think a very, very underrated partnership, a very, very underrated partnership. They won countless titles, together at Bayern. I think they were partners for 4 years. Like they had that 4-year period. I think Dante's first season at the club, was it when Bayern won the treble in 2013, that Champions League final against Dortmund? Obviously, I think Dortmund had won the Bundesliga 2 years prior as well, so Bayern hadn't won the Bundesliga for a few years. Dante came in and him and Boateng served a really good partnership. I'm going to put them in the second tier, I think they won a lot of trophies. They won the treble in that year, and if you're winning a treble together, come on. And do you know what? I like Dante. You got a left-footed centre-back in Dante, you got the right-footed in Boateng. Yeah, I think they complemented each other very, very well. Oh, I've just seen who's next. We've got another one, and they're going to go above Ramos and Varane, I think. Ricardo Carvalho and JT. Mr. John Terry back again. For me, definitely top tier, 100%. When Mourinho came in from Porto, he brought Fabio Carvalho, yeah. Fabio Carvalho? Not Fabio Carvalho, he's at bloody Brentford. Ricardo Carvalho, sorry. Mourinho brought Carvalho with him from Porto. And straight away came into the starting 11. They won the league in 4-5. They won the league in 5-6. So 2 back-to-back winning seasons. And of course, they only conceded 15 goals in that first season. The 2004-5 Premier League season, they conceded 15 goals. An unbelievable feat to have. I think that's better than the Invincibles. I've always said that. I think conceding 15 goals in one Premier League season is a lot better than drawing like 13 games in the league. I'm not taking anything away from that. I just like that achievement better. I think they were unbelievable together, and I think obviously they had the longevity there. They were together for about like 6 years before Carvalho went on to Real Madrid in like 2009, 2010. So yeah, they had the longevity there. What a partnership these two were. Martin Keown and Tony Adams. Now for me, bit before my time. A few of these were a bit before my time, to be fair. But with the others, I know and I've seen videos about them. I've seen full matches, like I've been saying. That's what's got me in this mood to do this video. But with Martin Keown and Tony Adams, I haven't. But I know how good they actually were. Oh, it's really good. I don't know if to put them here or here. Won a fair few titles together. The longevity was definitely there. Oh, I'm going to put them there for now in a second. I might change that. But for now, I'm going to put them there. Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld. I'm sorry, but they're going to go bottom tier. They didn't win anything together at Spurs. They didn't win anything in that golden generation with Belgium, which they should have done. And they had the chance to at Spurs. Of course, they had the chance to win the Premier League when Leicester won it in that season. They had a chance to win the Champions League in 2019. They just couldn't do it. Unbelievable players, but yeah, they didn't win anything, did they? Ramos and Piqué, again, interesting one. Straight away, I'm going to put them in the middle because I think they only played together at national team level. Obviously, you got Ramos and Piqué playing for arch rivals Barcelona and Real Madrid, respectively. Again, you've got Piqué being the calmer of the two, Ramos being the more rough, the dog in the defence, wasn't it? But yeah, the partnership was quite good for a few years. Ramos sort of played at right back during that Spain domination until 2012 when Puyol was injured in that Euros. That's when Ramos became a centre-back and started playing with Piqué a little bit more. But before that, it was just Piqué and Puyol, wasn't it, centre-back? So can't really judge them too much off that. They did win the Euros in 2012. I think that's probably about fair. Van Dijk and Joe Gomez. I'll put them there. I think 19 to 25, they can go in that slot. Yeah, I think they were together. Were these? I presume they were the partnership when Liverpool won the league for the first time in their history back in 2020. But I can't see Joe Gomez playing that amount of games. He always seems to be injured to me. But again, I think they were quite good. I know a lot of Liverpool fans likes that, but they haven't seen it much more since then. Joe Gomez has sort of drifted into more of a fullback role, hasn't he, since then? Walter Samuel and Lucio. Now, wow. Under Mourinho, wow. They won the treble in 2009-10. Unbelievable together. Both South Americans, so you can imagine what they were like. A scary partnership. But to be fair, Inter had a good defence in general there. Julio Cesar in goals, Zanetti, Maicon as well, I believe. So, but these two were just unbelievable. You've got Walter Samuel, great in the air, great defender, strong on the ground. Lucio, brilliant with the ball at his feet, brilliant to bring the ball out from the back, capable of dribbling through a certain amount of players. For me, yeah, having watched that treble back again, like looking at the games they played along the way, how they played together. Obviously, I think Walter Samuel was voted the best Serie A defender that year as well. So fair play to them. Yeah, they're actually going to go. I think that's. I don't know. Is that too high for them? I don't think so. I think that's respectable. Hummels and Subotic. Speaking of scary partnerships, these two were as well. Well, say Hummels isn't really a scary looking fella, is he? But Subotic, on the other hand, he is one scary looking man. He is a scary looking man. To be fair, these two are Dortmund icons, heavily contributed to that back-to-back Dortmund league title run in sort of the early 2010s that I was talking about before Bayern started to regain it. Obviously, they got to the Champions League final together, played in that final together, so they were fighting for titles. They won the double, I think, in 11-12 under Klopp, if I do remember. I think this is a bit of an underrated one, you know. I'm going to put them there. I'm going to put them there. Yeah, I've decided. I'm going to put them there. No one can change my mind on that one. Maybe I might change my own mind later, but for now, I'm happy with them there. Wow, Maldini, Nesta. I think they've got to go top, haven't they? I think they've got to go top again, straight in the top tier for me. Nesta spent most of his prime years at AC Milan, but Maldini obviously spent the whole time at the Rossoneri. Spent numerous amount of years together. Maldini was an unbelievable player. Nesta, obviously, like I said, spent his prime years at AC Milan. Obviously, he played for a few different clubs as well. They played together with Italy, for Italy as well. Like, wow, won the Champions League in 03 and 07, I believe, as well. So Maldini was getting towards the end of his career in 07 and still played that game. Staple mates of an Italian team from the past. For me, yeah, top tier for sure. Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. Now, hear me out on these two, because a lot of people be jumping at the gun saying, why are they on this list? But I think a bit of an underrated duo. Obviously, Martinez joined United in 2022. Varane had obviously been there a year prior before Martinez coming in, but they certainly made their mark straight away in that 22-23 season under Ten Hag, first season. Won the Carabao Cup, challenged for the title for a little bit, finished third, so didn't do too bad, but got the most clean sheets that year, best defence in the league in that season. Obviously, last season, injuries happened, didn't they, with Martinez and Varane, but they still won an FA Cup. We didn't do too well in the league. FA Cup win, and it's quite poetic, isn't it? Rafael Varane's final 90 minutes of football in his career before he retired was a win in the FA Cup against our rivals Manchester City, and he played next to Martinez and played unbelievably well. Again, I'm speaking like I'm going to put them top tier. I'm not. I'm going to still put them here, but I think they deserve a little bit of respect. They won 2 trophies together, best defence in the league one year. I think that's fair. Obviously, injuries hampered them a little bit. Like, they could have been so much better if they obviously carried on playing together, but Varane obviously left United in the summer and then retired, unfortunately, due to injury, which you never like to see. Robert Huth and Wes Morgan. Go on, the boys. Won the league with Leicester, the fairy tale in 15-16. But again, they only really had probably one good season together. Like, that should never have worked. Robert Huth, I think, joined from Stoke a year before or whatever, and Wes Morgan was obviously the Leicester captain that year, lifted the Premier League title. It should never have worked, but it did. And that season, they were terrific. They're not going in the bottom, no way. They won a Premier League together. They're probably going above Varane and Martinez for now. I mean, we can rejig it later, but to be fair, you've got to give them credit. It should never have worked. It did. Chipped in with a fair few goals as well. I think they complemented each other very, very well. They weren't the quickest of centre-backs, let's just say that, but I think they were good. I do think they were good. Pepe and Ramos. Now, when I said Subotic was scary before and Lucio and Walter Samuel were scary, these two are the definition of a scary partnership. I mean, they missed more games with suspension than injury, these two fellas. I mean, unbelievable. Get them up there. Not quite the top tier, but yeah, still unbelievable, weren't they? Won everything there was to win at Real Madrid together. Both, obviously, rough defenders. I think that's fair. What more is it to say? Put the neck on the line for each other. Put the neck on the line for the club. They did everything they can to win, and the longevity is there. So easily, top 2 for me. Top 2 tiers. Carragher and Sami Hyypiä. Now, interesting one, this one. I think Carragher and Hyypiä are sort of they've got sort of contrasting strengths, but their understanding of the game, I think, helps them a little bit. Obviously, helped them to win that Champions League in 2005. They weren't the quickest of defenders, but I think their knowledge of the game helps them outsmart sort of opposing players. Carragher obviously wasn't the tallest defender, he sort of transitioned into a centre-back from a midfield role, and he works really well with Sami Hyypiä. Carragher, you've got the work ethic, you've got the stamina, run for days, you've got the leadership. Hyypiä was dominant in the air, especially in like clearing the ball from the box. He won a lot of them aerial duels. So yeah, when defending set pieces, I think they worked really well. I think they won the Champions League in 05, didn't they? They did concede 3 goals that day, but the run there was good. They're going to go in the middle. I think they're going to go in the middle tier, 12 to 8. How many have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we've still got room. Still got a fair few to get through anyway. Liverpool fans, let me know what you thought of that ranking. Is that fair? I think so. Bonucci and Chiellini. I love these two. You know. Oh, I don't know where to put them though. I mean, I think they're going there, you know. Just because I absolutely adore them. I know they don't have the Champions League, but the years they spent together at winning the Serie A titles, obviously win that Euros in 2021 with Italy, which no one before the tournament started expected Italy to win, and they were it was so good that tournament. Both leaders in that Juve squad sometimes played a back three with Barzagli, didn't they? But it was more often them two at the back. Bonucci obviously had that year spell at AC Milan, but he couldn't stay away from Chiellini for too long. He had to come back to Juve, didn't he, after that year? I just really like them. And you've got the left footer in Chiellini as well. Sol Campbell and Kolo Touré, I think they're also... Where have I just put them there? No. Let's put them here. Let's put them in the seconds here. We'll rejig it later. Obviously, you've got Lehmann in that picture as well. It just shows the togetherness they had in that season. Obviously, went unbeaten in the 03-04 campaign. I think it's a good pair. A very good pair. I think Campbell left Spurs, didn't he, to join Arsenal. And I think Kolo Touré came from an academy in Ivory Coast. So it wasn't meant to happen, this. I think Kolo Touré was actually an attacking midfielder when he first came in. So it was never meant to happen. But the pace, the power, they understood the game very well. They understood each other very well. I think, yeah, you went unbeaten. You've got to give him the flowers. Who have we got next? Otamendi and Vincent Kompany. Now, is it just me? Or, I don't know. I feel like this is just an excuse to get Kompany in the list. They're going to have to go bottom, aren't they? I mean, they did win Premier League together a few times, I think. I think that's the Centurion season, I think they played together a bit. But I don't know, actually, because Kompany was probably injured a lot that season. I actually really don't know. I think this is literally just... I think it would have been better if you had Kompany and Lescott in here. I'm not going to lie. I think they were probably a better partnership. So Otamendi was probably a better player, but as a partnership, they were probably... Kompany and Lescott were probably better, weren't they? Another modern-day partnership here, Gabriel and Saliba. Now, it's a hard one to call because right now they are probably the best centre-back partnership in the world currently. But it's just come too soon. I'm going to have to put them in that bottom tier with Vertonghen and Alderweireld and Otamendi and Kompany just because they haven't won anything yet. They've only been partners for 2 years. Yes, they've been unbelievable. I think Saliba, for me, is the best centre-back in the world. Gabriel's definitely top 5 as well. But again, they haven't won anything. And who knows, in the future, they probably are going to be up there. They're probably going to be up there with the Dantes and the Boatengs, with the Lucios and the Walter Samuels. I think, anyway, maybe even top 5. You never know. But it's early days. Now, this is the reason I've done this video. So, excuse me, but they're going straight to the top of the list. Vidic and Rio Ferdinand. Now, this is literally the reason I did this video. I think the best partnership ever. 5 Premier League titles together, 1 Champions League, 2, of course, getting to the final in another 2 years, but losing out to an unbelievable Barcelona team. So they still had that pedigree to get to those finals, won League Cups, FA Cups. Vidic, for me, is one of my favourite players of all time, I think. I think he won... Did he win... Am I right in saying he won 2 Premier League Player of the Season awards as a defender, which you never see that. A centre-half winning 2 Premier League Player of the Season awards. I think that's crazy. I've always preferred Vidic over Ferdinand. I'm not saying Ferdinand's a bad player at all. Obviously not. They're both easily probably top 5 defenders of all time. But Vidic, for me, I just prefer the way he plays. so good at scoring as well. He's an absolute warrior. That's the best way to describe Vidic and Ferdinand. I think they were warriors. I do. Battered, bruised, it didn't matter. They just carried on playing. I mean, you could argue Ronnie Johnson, Jaap Stam could be in here in this list as well. Or Mark Hughes and Gary Pallister. Again, they're very good centre-back partnerships. But, yeah. Did I say Mark Hughes? My head's not with it today. Why did I say Mark Hughes? I meant Steve Bruce and Gary Pallister, sorry. Mark Hughes is an unbelievable player as well, but I meant Bruce and Pallister as a partnership. Again, you can argue those two to be in here. I had to just have a little moment there because I was like, why did I just say Mark Hughes? I meant Steve Bruce, of course. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll give Ferdinand his flowers here either. Because to me, a lot of people, I think for a lot of people, he's probably the better player of the two in terms of on-the-ball ability. He definitely had more technical ability than Vidic, but that's why I think they complemented each other so well. And again, that is why I've done this. I've done this video solely on those two. I've been watching a lot of old Man United games recently, and I love it. The nostalgia pop's real. But yeah, for me, best centre-back partnership ever. The titles they won, the longevity was there, 100%. Argue it amongst yourself because I'm not changing my mind on that. Diego Godin and Miranda at Atletico Madrid. Again, a bit of an underrated modern day partnership again. Godin was probably more the aggressive one. Miranda obviously known for reading the game a lot more. Am I right in saying Atletico won the league in 2014 as well against obviously the Ronaldo Real Madrid team, the Messi Barcelona team at the time? So again, no one expected it to happen, but under Simeone, they did win that league title in 2014. Got to the Champions League final together as well. Obviously didn't win that one. Conceded, I think there was 26 goals, 25 goals, 26 goals conceded that season, which again, that just shows how good Carvalho and Terry's were. They only conceded 15 in a 38-game season. They conceded 25, 26, and that's still very good, which, yeah, mad. I don't really know where to put these, you know. I actually don't know. I'm going to save them to the end. I'm going to save them to the end because I want to see where I put these first. And to be fair, we need to go straight on. Get these up here. Puyol and Piqué. Wow. The final entry for the top tier for me. Spent 6 seasons together at Barcelona. I think you had Puyol sort of on his way out at the time, leaving Barcelona. He sort of started this partnership with Piqué when Piqué was young and up and coming after coming back from United at a very young age. So Piqué was around 20, 21 at the time. I think they only started playing together. Piqué was 20, 21, 22. Puyol was 29, 30. So two contrasting ages there, but it worked so well together. Won everything there is to win. Part of that unreal Barcelona defence, or Barcelona team, I should say. Won 2 Champions Leagues in that time. And even for Spain as well, that Spain dominance between 2008 and 2012, sorry. 2 of the very best defenders of all time for me. I think I'm actually going to keep them there as well in second. I think they're probably the second best partnership after Vidic and Rio. Terry and Carvalho were unlucky, but I can't help what I prefer. Now, Van Dijk and Konate. Again, it's early days still, but right now, probably easily top 3 centre-back partnerships in the world, I certainly think so. Konate has suffered with injuries which really didn't help him, but again, they've won trophies. They've won 2 League Cups, an FA Cup already in the very early days, and I've put Varane and Martinez there, so I think they easily have to go above them there. Again, Konate's injuries aren't helping him. I want to see that partner. Well, I don't want to. I'm a United fan. I want them both to be injured, really. No, you can never wish injury upon a player. You can't. Even on. Yeah, forget I said that. But, do you know what I mean? You don't want to see them. I don't want to see them succeed, but I can't help saying how good they are, because they are very, very good together. William Gallas and John Terry. Now, Gallas was the partnership for John Terry before Ricardo Carvalho. I think John Terry spoken and said that his favourite partner was Gallas, I think, at the time. Again, they didn't really win much together. They won the Premier Leagues technically together, but not really, because that's when Carvalho came in. Obviously, Carvalho took William Gallas' place, and Gallas only stayed for an extra. He technically got the medal, but he wasn't the partner with John Terry. But I think before then, they were brute force together. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to put. It's actually hard to decide where to put them, because Carvalho came in to replace William Gallas, didn't he? So he can't. Obviously, he's never going to get top 5. I've already got my top 5. Do they go? I think they're going to go middle of the range. You know. I'm gonna put I'll put them there. Yeah, I'll put them there for now. Again, it can easily change, but I'm just thinking of the way they didn't really win anything together, did they? They were at the club together, but they didn't win anything as a partnership. Ruben Diaz and John Stones. Again, this is a tough one. They've sort of got to go quite high. They won the treble together at the end of the day. I say together, sort of. So you just have a lot of defenders, don't they? So you Ake, not Vardiol at the time, Ake, Akanji. Like so many different names can play in those positions, and I think John Stones has struggled with injury and sort of drifted into more of a centre midfield role, hasn't he? Defensive midfield role. So you don't really see them play together as much as you would have liked to see. But again, they won the treble together. Like, it's hard, man. It's hard. How many have I got here? 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, they're going to have to go in the middle. They're going to have to go. They're probably the best. Are they the best out of them? I'll rejig it in a minute, which means 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20. Which means Golding and Miranda, unfortunately, go here in this tier. Now, let me just see. Let me just analyse this. Does anything need to change here for me? It's tough. Right, the bottom three I'm set on, and I think that order's fine. I think that's a fine order. Varane and Martin are probably... I think that's fair there. I can't even put Mark. It's so tough. Right, I think I'm going to put I actually don't know what I've done there. I actually don't know what to do. I'm really stuck. Right, let's sort the top ones out first. So Vidic and Ferdinand for me, that's fine. Puyol, PK second, yeah. Third, fourth, fifth. I'm happy with that, I think. Again, I think Maldini and Nesta are unlucky to be that low, but again, it's my sort of opinion. I've seen those four more than I've seen those two. Now, this is where it gets tough. I think Pepe and Ramos are going to have to go top there. I think they're the sixth best. Oh my God, it actually is really tough. Right, Dante and Boateng did win a draw. Right, you know what? I'm going to do it off personal preference, right, okay? This is just my opinion. Again, a lot of people are going to have different opinions to me, but I've got to go off my opinion. I'm going to have Pepe Ramos there. I'm going to then have... The thing is with Lucio and Walter Samuel, they had that one good year. They won the treble, obviously, but they rapidly declined afterwards, didn't they? Oh my God. You know what? I'm going to put these bottom of this just because I didn't see them as... I'm happy with that at the minute. Them. Yeah, I'm happy with that at the minute. I'm happy with that. Here, look at the names here. Look at the names. Stones and Diaz. Am I happy putting them the 12th best partnership ever? No. PK and Ramos didn't do it. They only really won the 2012 Euros together because obviously it was Puyol and PK the centre backs and Ramos was a right back at the time. I think Cahill and Terry are an underrated one. Nesta and Cannavaro didn't really win much together. Carragher and Hyypiä, are they underrated? Subotic and Hummels. Right, Gallas and Terry, I think they're going to... It looks weird putting... Do you not think it looks weird putting Cahill and Terry above Gallas and Terry? But I don't know. Should it look weird? I don't think it does. You know what? I'm happy with that ranking there. I'm happy with that now, I think. No, I'm not. I think Subotic and Hummels... It's so tough. But yeah, right now I'm happy with that. Now it's just this one here. Where do I put these partnerships? Huth and Morgan, they had that 1 year, didn't they? They won the Premier League, but come on, I'll put them above Varane and Martinez, but come on, yeah, I'm not saying I'd rather have Huth and Morgan over Varane and Martinez either, but their accomplishments for the club they did it for. It's got to be spoken about. Yeah, because they did win a lot. In fact, they could probably go there. Cannavaro and Thuram only did it for a brief period. And I think that's... Gomez and Van Dijk are too high for me. Gomez and Van Dijk are way too high for me. I'd arguably say Canate and Van Dijk are a better... But yeah, I would. I know they won the league together, but I just think they are. And I think I'm happy with that ranking right now. What do you think? In fact... no, I can't. I can't do that. Because it's the first title they ever won. It's the same with Leicester though, isn't it? That's tough. That is a tough one. But I think I'm happy with that ranking there. Let me know your thoughts. It's a bit of a longer video today. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know down below. I'm interested to see your thoughts on these lists though. Make sure you let me know down below. I think I've just said that 3 times. Let me just get out of here before I repeat myself again. See you there.